Pete Hegseth just turned 2026 into 1984, which was written in 1948.
In the press briefing on March 2nd, Pete Hegseth took us way back to 1984 in a few words, on the heels of this administration's renaming the Department of Defense to the Department of War, when he said, quote, "Peace through strength, the warrior ethos, lethality, unity of purpose, those are not slogans," end quote. Does this sound familiar? Like war is peace, freedom is slavery, ignorance is strength, the official slogans of the party in 1984. Who is writing his speeches? O'Brien himself? Here's some more. "We didn't start this war, but under President Trump, we are finishing it. Turns out the regime who chanted death to America and death to Israel was gifted death from America and death from Israel. And this is not so-called regime change war, but the regime sure did change, and the world is better off for it." Whoever is writing it seemed to have just learned about antimetaboly, a form of chiasmus, which is repeating words in reverse order to create a pointed contrast, or, as my colleague mentioned earlier today, AI. Death to America and death to Israel to death from America and death from Israel. The syntax here is flipped. Death to versus death from, and Hegseth seems to derive glee from its message. It's rhetorically elegant in a way that should make you deeply uncomfortable because the device creates a kind of poetic justice. It's super satisfying. It completes a phrase so beautifully, and he's talking about citizens and educators and children. We've seen presidents and skilled orators use it for centuries, like JFK's inauguration with "My fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." That is chiasmus, and the chi makes an X in his organization on the line. The quote that's getting the most attention, "Not a regime change war, but the regime sure did change," is antithesis, which is like sharpened up by solipsis, using the word regime change in two different senses simultaneously to make it a joke. It's a wink. It's manipulation. It's so gross. So what these devices do together is transform a war and its very real casualties into a punchline. It's Hegseth's attempt at wit, I think. The use of these literary devices make Hegseth seem to be in rhetorical control, and its effect is to desensitize, to anesthetize our reaction to mass violence along the lines of passivity and acceptance of like another school shooting, thoughts and prayers. He's trying to shape how we're allowed to feel about this war, and in doing so, it's clear how he feels about it. He's not a serious person, and yet he has a very serious job.